Good morning.
Morning.
Gotta get the chat.
I will open the chat. I know. I have to wait.
Monitor.
You want to be a chat monitor. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Saturday Morning Comics. I still got a Marvel heavy kind of thing going back here. Sorry to disappoint the DC fans. Oh, there it is. Boom. Live and jumping in. No, leave it right there. Because
7 people in the chat.
7 people already. Let's see what's going on. I might actually get to watch this week. Looking around and waiting for something to happen, says JP. Big Will has arrived. Let's see. I made a funny joke. Caleb is here.
Tacoma Comics.
James Gallegos, Tacoma Comics, and Mr. Miracle are in here.
Wow.
Let's see. I just got an alert. John's going to go live. Did anyone know about this? Marvel is best, says Caleb. Well, there you go. Barbarian Kung Fu. Looks like KK is watching. Good morning, KK. Undead Mousy. Hydra Collectibles. Okay, I know Hydra Collectibles. Good to see you. Good morning. Good morning, DK Comics and Cosplay and Kachung. Good morning, Chris Barrett. And I'm glad Rod is here, just a weekend, because he sent us a little care package and we're going to open it this morning. So that'll be part of what we're doing this morning. But I hope everybody's doing well. I don't like to hate on DC because I do love a lot of great DC comics and I have plenty of them. It's just I've been in a bit of a Marvel kick. It's my comfort zone, I guess, especially older Marvel. And pretty much everything here is at least 20 years old, except for that book right there, which I just got recently as an auction win. That's MJ.
Oh.
It's a picture, and you can see Peter's hanging on the ceiling and holding the picture.
Yeah, you also can
His
see
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's.
An amazing Adam Hughes drawing, part of Spider-Man 800, I think. And I got that from Bake the Snake in his auction. And talk about the perfect modern book. Not like a crazy grail expensive or anything that you would want to frame and hang up and take a look at. So just a really cool one. If something is your comfort zone, it means it's better. Does it? Because I know that there's movies that I watch that are like, that's my comfort movie. Doesn't necessarily make it the best, but it does make it like, you know, like a chicken soup for the soul kind of stuff. So for me, Take Collects is in here. Drive safely out to Palm Springs, sir. And I think that's the crew. Good morning, everybody. So I was up super early this morning and I read a bunch of stuff. We're going to go into a little barbecue later at my sister's place. Swim in the pool at Auntie Julie's house.
How did I not know about this? Really? Really? I never know anything. It's
You
just
need to
sad.
start telling your kids this stuff.
Well, you don't need to know until we go.
We're your kids.
Should I play your taco video for everybody?
No.
I sent a few of you the taco video. So if you know about it, enjoy your taco day. Don't share. She's embarrassed. The singer is embarrassed, but it's pretty magnificent. Yeah, John, they're your kids. Okay, everybody's having a good laugh. So do we do unboxing first or sharing first?
Or an ice cream sundae.
The conversations with our kids. Yes, exactly, who dat.
I love taco.
What do we want?
I go first.
Kate's going to share first. We're doing sharing first.
Only one comic and 2 books today.
Okay.
This is called X Campus. It's like in it there's like Mystique and what's his name? Nightcrawler?
Nightcrawler, yeah.
Yeah, there's Mystique up there. And it's really cool because basically it's X-Men, but when they're younger, like when they first started the X-Men.
Okay.
So they call them X-Boys right now. I don't like it as much, but still.
Because there's not any girls on the team?
Well, there is, but there's like they call it X-Boys. I don't know. They have Aurora.
Storm is there. Storm's awesome.
Yeah.
But she's
and
wearing
they have Jean Grey.
pigtails.
And Jean Grey in this is disguised as an adult, but apparently she is actually a kid.
That's Jean Grey
Yeah, and then
Okay.
there's Emma.
and Emma Frost. Ooh, it looks like a lot of psychic power attacks going on.
It's a really cool book.
We have a few X-Campus books. I want to say you've shared one before.
We have 2. This is 3 out of 4. Number 3 out of 4 limited series, and then we have number 2 also.
Charlie's trying to figure out who I sent the taco video to by
He's looking in
looking
the
at
chat.
the chat.
Like I just found
Ka-chong.
out.
I'm not done with it. I will definitely be sharing it. It is one of the greatest
Tank
things
got
ever.
it. Ka-chung
Oh,
got
there
it.
goes my internet.
Uh-oh. People having internet problems.
Uh-oh, Kate.
Hopefully we're
How
doing all
dare
right
you,
here.
Kate? You've cursed us.
Charlie,
Oh,
kidding.
goodness. Stop.
that's really mean.
It's still working. Looks like it's going all right. Charlie, you got to share, though.
Why?
Because they don't want to look at us watching screens. Because that's a boring thing to watch. Not very entertaining. Superboy. And this is issue number 26. A 60-cent comic from back in 1982. Did you like this one? What did you like about it? I'm going to cover up Kate with it. Dun-dun.
So it's kind of it's obviously about Superboy, but there are 2 stories in this.
Okay.
One's when he travels back in time to do a project,
Okay.
and one's where these girls that fall in love with him. They just stare at him, and then suddenly in a trance. And there are these guys who are trying to see if Clark Kent is Superboy, because it says on the cover, when I tell you Clark Kent is bulletproof like Superboy.
Oh.
And there's this
So
doctor.
they're shooting at him to
and
test
he
if
likes,
he's. If this test fails, if that was just a normal kid, that would be really bad.
Yeah.
That would be
But
really
they
bad.
checked, and Lana Lang is her grandpa made these types of pills that he thinks that if you take it, you could become Superboy. So these guys kidnap him and do all that stuff, and then he gets kidnapped, and Superboy has to take him back.
Huh. So, do you think you want to read more Superboy books? Should we look for more when we go to the shop? Because we find some in the dollar bins fairly often.
I also have there's this one book, this one series I adore. It's called Babysitter's Club. They're one of my favorite books.
Hudat says, I have a very funny video of my daughter did too. And remember, your dad would not share it if he didn't love you. Tell my daughter that all the time. She doesn't understand. She's only 4. You're a little older than 4.
Joe,
Yeah,
how am I?
that's okay. I'm
Good
4
job,
years
Joe.
older.
You are double, right?
Double.
And KK says her dad was only 2 when that book came out. Because he's the same age as my little brother.
That was 37 years ago.
Caleb says X-Men First Class is the best X-Men movie. Don't know if I fully agree, but it is a great one, and it is in my favorites as well.
Is that the one that I really like?
Speaking of X-Men, I read X-Men Grand Design Extinction, issue 2. I had shown off the Storm cover last time, which is kind of cool looking. And then this is the Kitty Pryde Shadowcat version. There it is. A little bit. Really cool way to read your classic X-Men stories. You're making funny dance moves behind me.
No, she's singing my taco song.
It's a good taco song. It's going to
my
catch on.
song, not hers.
Hey, I don't have my own song.
Hey, you'll have to write one. What are you going to write next?
I don't know.
Days of Future Past is great, and it's in this storyline. They do a little Days of Future Past. It's kind of like they did issues. I mean, it's tough. It goes all the way through the Extinction Agenda, but before that, they cover some of the Days of Future Past, which is 140. So they scatter around. You got first Gambit in the storyline, first Jubilee in the storyline. There's lots of really cool things in this newest issue of Grand Design. I just really think it's great, worthy of your time for sure. Caleb is correct about First Class, objectively the best. Dang. Bada For me, it's a tough pick because I like a lot of the X movies. I still think X2 is a really, really, really great movie. I liked Days of Future Past. I know it's not a traditional version of that story, but I thought it was really well done. And Logan is, of course, objectively very, very, very good. So that brings us back to Cateroo.
I like Professor X in
The newer version or the
Class.
original? So the newer version, the younger, you like younger Professor X? That actor's name is James McAvoy. You like him? Because he has hair. Although in the later films, he has no hair again.
he says, remember that part when he says at the end, the next thing, I'll be losing my hair.
Yeah, he
I'll
makes
be
a joke.
going bald.
Yeah, he does make a joke about
And
that.
he does. That's funny.
Logan, says Big Will. He's a Logan fan. It was a joke with Chris. Chris with Caleb. Nothing serious. Making some jokes.
Just a Rican taco song is epic.
The only person who liked X3 is Tacoma Comics.
Wait, where's Just a
It might be.
Weekend?
Rod's right there.
Oh yeah. You said it to him first. That's 3 people.
X3 is not a very good movie, Tacoma. I agree with you about Stephanie Hans a lot. I don't know if I like X3. I really think they blew it. It could have been great. I think that storyline deserves MCU justice, is what I think. And I'm excited to see how they fold the X-Men into the MCU, because I'm very, very excited to see that happen. I think that's what I'm really looking forward to. Chris Sherrick, you read I think you're the only one I know for sure reading the Grand Design. And I really enjoyed it. I want to go back and kind of get all of them. I think they just finished now. So I do want to go back and get all of them because I think they're really worth your time. Kate's going to share her second one now.
Dude.
I have something to show you guys.
I know, but let it's sister's turn. Let her, and then you can go.
There's this book I read called Class Dismissed, and it's about this teacher who quits in the middle of a lesson, but it says, this boy in her class gets sent to the office, and then she calls the office, and he answers the phone, and she says, Miss Bryce, the teacher, says, I quit, and then he's the only one that hears it, so he goes down, he's like, guys, she just quit, and then they try to make sure no one finds out, and it's very hard. And it's like from different points of view.
Yeah, different students, right?
Yes, Samantha, Maggie, who substitutes for the teacher, and I really enjoyed it. So
Nice.
I recommend.
What's the
Class
writer's name?
Dismissed by Alan Woodrow.
Alan Woodrow. Okay. Whole bunch more people have jumped in the chat. Lots of fun talk going on. Aggressively Relaxing is in there.
Fuchsia.
Lots to discuss about who likes which X-Men movies.
Fuchsia.
Burke, I own pretty much all of them. I think the only ones I don't own are Apocalypse and X3. I generally buy movies. And I've really enjoyed all of them. I don't like despise or hate any of them. Even X-Men Origin Wolverines might have the best title sequence of any of the X-Men movies. Watching Wolverine and Sabretooth fight in wars through time is like epic goodness. So I can't just throw out the movie because they ruined Deadpool. But there's a lot of I enjoy a lot about the X-Men films at Fox. They weren't perfect, but they were enjoyable. Okay, that brings us into the Spider-Verse is on Netflix. We have definitely seen it. We saw it in the theater. We own it. I think it's the best Spider-Man film I've ever seen. And Hudat is spot on. It is a great movie, and you can definitely check it on Netflix right now. Charlie's going to share a book that was sent to me by the creator of the book as part of a sort of A-OK swap that I did and I mentioned on my channel not too long ago. So Charlie, you want to share this one?
Wait, who wrote it?
It's called The X-Presidents.
Yes, but X is done like the X-Men to signal that there's superheroes mixed with presidents.
It's not all
Can I mention the
X-Men.
artist?
There are some Marvel and...
Can I mention the artist real quick? So the artist's name is Ryan Lanigan. And you can find him on Instagram. And if you need me to give you his link, just let me know on Instagram. He drew this. He wrote this. And it's a whole lot of fun.
So there's Beastly Washington.
There's
Adams
Beast
on
as
Fire.
Washington.
Adams on Fire.
Yes.
Human Torch.
John Adams as the Human Torch. Johnny Storm. Johnny Adams. Uh-huh.
Jefferson Supreme. Madison Ant.
Jefferson, Dr. Strange.
We're not going to go through all of them, so you got to kind of pick.
I'm gonna pick some.
So you have Madison Ant-Man. Yep.
Because he's the shortest president.
And then you've got, Jefferson Supreme. Look at him. He's the Sorcerer Supreme. Ooh, I got out of focus real quick there. Ooh.
Daddy, I'm taller than Jefferson.
You're taller right now than Thomas Jefferson ever was?
I mean, James
Madison. All right. I didn't know that he was the shortest president. Look, Kate
He's
knows
4'5".
Kate knows all kinds of stuff, man. She's like her mom. That you guys know so much stuff.
He was 4'5".
Spider-Man 2 is a very good movie. I agree, Mr. Gretzky. Kate does like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies.
I really
I like
good. This is my
Homecoming
favorite
more.
one.
Ooh, you like Homecoming more?
Yeah, I like Homecoming more than.
Oh, you're falling for the Tom Holland side now?
Dad,
Got to look forward to the new Holland movie.
my favorite one is Old Man Lincoln. I love that one.
Because it's supposed to be like Wolverine. There's Old Man Lincoln. And then, of course, we've got James Buchanan
Hey,
Barnes,
I didn't pick that one.
Winter Soldier. Very
That's
funny.
one you picked this time.
And also, I do like Zendaya.
As
MJ.
MJ.
But I like Zendaya also in Greatest Showman. So I think that's one of the reasons.
Caleb
I
says
like
you're
it.
dropping history facts. Taft was the fastest president. I think Mr. Gretzky's making a joke.
William Taft.
Wasn't he one of the overweight ones?
Who's the most overweight?
There you go. But I feel Garfield gets a bad rap. You mean the cat or the president?
Okay, so
Fattest. Okay.
James Aquaman Garfield.
I thought you were making a joke that he was also fast. Sorry, you want last one.
James Aquaman Garfield. It says the A in James A. Garfield obviously stood for Aquaman.
Hi, Sam.
There he is. James Aquaman Garfield. And on the other side, it's Rutherford B. Odin. All right. So it's a very funny book and very well done and highly entertaining. So if you give him a little shout out, check him out on Instagram. It's worth your time.
Spider-Man was actually JFK in the book.
Yeah, John F. Kennedy.
That's an interesting
was
comment, Chris Barrett. I think you're onto something there. And I will say, as the look of him, I liked the way Andrew Garfield looked. I just think they gave him the absolute worst scripts and just bad movies. It's a shame because I think Andrew Garfield could have been an interesting Spider-Man, but they just blew it. Is it my turn now, Char? She's
Exactly. Yeah, that's right.
What?
What?
They had to put a bigger bath because he was too big for it.
Yeah, I heard that story. Good morning. Sam's here. Sorry, Sam, I didn't notice you when you first jumped in. I also read Middle West. This is issue 8. Wasn't my favorite. I'm not sure where the story's going. It's slowing down a little bit. The artwork is still among the best I'm seeing on any book month to month. I think what Scotty Young and Jorge Corona are doing on Middle West is really, really cool. I just want it to speed up a little bit. I wanted to get back to really moving along. It had a quick story at the beginning, and it's sort of tapered off a little bit for me. So I'm hopeful that Middle West builds to something great, that they keep going with it. Seawood is in the chat. Taft was the reason they had to put a bigger. Yep, he mentioned that. And I mentioned, sorry, I didn't say hi to you, Chad. 90 Miles from Comics is in the chat. Days of Future Past was my favorite. It might be mine as well. I think it's always X2 and Future Past that are like, which is the one?
With the sentries?
The Sentinels, yeah.
Sentinels.
All right, your turn. Last
Wait,
ones.
wait. Taft got stuck in a tub. That's funny.
Yes.
And fun fact, really? He's an undefeated wrestler?
I think it's probably a joke.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But
But still very funny.
Sure.
I got the first couple issues of Middle West, but I fell off, says Caleb. Oh, I can't see you get too close. Kennedy used to keep the coconut he used to rescue his PT Cross desk. That's cool. That's cool, Chris. A lot of people shouting out their favorite films. I think Holland is the best. Ooh, a lot of good discussion. Maguire was too emo and Garfield was too cool. Peter Parker with pop culture references and awkward around girls he likes. Holland is Spider. Period. Ooh, Tank dropping a bomb. Yeah, I do agree. Logan is an amazing movie. And as sadly, it was as close as we'll ever get to Old Man Logan, the actual comic, until it's in the MCU and they can start doing some Elseworld stories. Because I would love them to bring back. I would love it if Hugh Jackman got to come back and play Old Man Logan and actually do Old Man Logan close to the version in the comics. Now that he's back in the MCU and they own all these characters, they could fully do, not perfectly, not exactly, but a pretty close R-rated version. If that would be cool. I don't think they'll ever do it, but that would be cool. That'd be my dream. All right, Charlie, last one. I want you to do the Fantastic Four.
Chris Barrett said the Lincoln one is true.
The Lincoln one is true.
I'm looking that up after this.
What's the Lincoln one?
Lincoln.
That he was undefeated wrestler.
An undefeated wrestler. All right. That sounded like a joke, but I'll look it up. Thomas Jefferson invented a machine that allowed to read multiple books. I know this. He also invented the rotating chair, like the desk chair.
I know. That's why. I think that's probably why they put him as the Supreme.
I want a middle-aged moon woman movie. That's aggressively relaxing. Oh my gosh.
My third comment.
Hashtag Blade never gets. Who's Blade? Sorry.
Blade, yeah. Blade is a great movie. And Blade 2 is not bad. Blade Trinity is awful. He's the vampire hunter Marvel character. Lincoln is in the Wrestling Hall of Fame? Oh my goodness. Hey, Dad. I got to hang out with my dad on Thursday night. We watched the Western Silverado with my brothers. It's a great movie. If you haven't seen it and you like a good Western, it's hard to beat Silverado. One of the best modern Westerns. Charlie's got her, is it your second book? Last book. Final book?
It's called Fantastic Four.
What number?
Number 285.
It's a really good one. It's right into the Secret Wars 2 era.
And it says, I'm finished. I can't be the Human Torch anymore.
Yeah, Johnny Storm goes through a real crisis of conscience in this storyline. And what did you like about it, Charlie? What goes on here?
Well, there actually is a newspaper on the floor that says, Teenage fan burns to death. And it's about this little kid named, I think it's Tommy H. I forget his name. Hansen. Tommy H. Hansen. And what happens is when he wants to be like Human Torch, and at school he's always getting bullied. And when he goes home, he hears a really loud screeching noise on top of the roof. So he goes up, and there's his friend, and he says, "You got the plane to work." And he has like a remote control plane that he built. And they're flying it. And suddenly the guy's watch beeps, and he says, "Oops, gotta go to my appointment. Be careful of that fuel, Tommy. If you dump it all over you and light it with a match, you'll be like your own Human Torch."
And then he does it.
And then, stop. And then what happens is the guy leaves, and Tommy's staring at the fuel, and he pours it all over him, lights a match, and lights himself on fire, and jumps off a building. And then to see if he could do it, but then the doctors find him, and they take him to the office, and they wrap him from head to toe in bandages. And
Kate doesn't like that story. It's too sad.
And then they bring the Human Torch to the doctor's office, and and then Tommy says, "I did it to be like you." And the parents say that if Johnny hadn't gone showing off how he can be on flame and fly, then their child wouldn't have this happen. So when he leaves, he's on fire, he's about to fly, and then he gets off, and he's like, "Taxi." He doesn't want to fly.
He can't bring himself to be the Human Torch anymore. He feels like it's setting a bad example somehow.
But then in the end, there's this guy who might have been the who might have been like a friend or someone who watches over Tommy Hansen.
It's not a true story. It's just a powerful
And
hero
he
story.
teleports himself.
That means it's powerful.
And
it's a comic book, and it made you have that level of emotion.
He teleports Johnny and himself to back in time to when they saw Tommy Hansen, and he's saying, "Why are you doing this to me? It just makes me feel worse." And he shows him how you didn't do anything wrong. And he says, "And it isn't through you that he died; it's through you that Tommy lived." Says in this book at the end.
So you like this one?
That's the guy.
That guy, the Beyonder. He shows up at the end.
Says right here, the death of the boy is not a burden for you to bear. He did not die because of you. It was through you that Tommy Hansen lived.
So I didn't realize the Beyonder showed up to teach that lesson. Beyonder is like the god who makes Secret Wars 1 and 2 happen. He sort of pulls all these heroes together. Wonder if it's a reaction to the Human Torch being replaced by Kirby Robot in the cartoon because executives were afraid of the story happening. That's interesting. Aggressive, relaxing. I think the problem was they were always trying to reinvent the Fantastic Four to make them relevant and popular again. Adding in She-Hulk and things like that, or having two things at one point, the male and the female.
And then I like this picture. It's him flying.
Ugh.
Right here.
Yep, that's a good one. Who's doing the art in this one? John, is this John Byrne? It might be John Byrne. Written and penciled by John Byrne. There you go. That's why you like it. Talented guy, John Byrne. I recall this when it came out. Loved my mid-'80s Marvel. Hard to go wrong, right?
The package.
Nope, I got my last one. And do you have one more, Kate?
Open.
My last one is definitely going to be Flash Year One. They had their newest issue drop this week. Flash got injured in issue 72. And then in issue 73, he realizes that the Speed Force can heal him because he is able to get the bullet out, and he sort of instantly heals when he gets out because his metabolism's fast. The Speed Force enables him to heal so quickly. Might be blasphemy, but I've never been a big fan of the FF. Everybody has their interest. I've never loved the FF, but there are certain storylines that I think are pretty iconic. Obviously 48 and 49. There's that whole run actually of, Silver Surfer and first Black Panther and first Galactus and, Thing questioning, is he a man or monster? That whole storyline of issues. Hard to argue that that's not just absolute greatness. It really is. Let's see. People still talking about the best Westerns. So I guess, not the hotel. Best Western films. So I guess Big will have to really throw down on that. I acknowledge the Fantastic Four and their contribution, but never liked their stories. Hey, everybody's got their thing. There have been 3 Human Torches. The Golden Age, Johnny Storm, Richard Pryor was the Human Torch. Is that a joke I don't know about? Uh-oh. Chris Barrett trying to make a joke. Chris Evans, yes, he was the Human Torch before he was Captain America.
Yep.
All right, Kate, your last one. And then we can open this package from Rod.
My last one is Babysitters Club number 6.
And these are graphic novels, right?
Yes.
So you want to show the art on the inside a little bit so people can take a look?
I'll find the page.
Okay.
So ready. This one. So in the book, there's a wedding.
This book has a wedding.
Yeah.
One of the siblings to the sisters.
The main character's mom is getting married to another man because her husband's divorced from her. And here's like snippets from it. It's a very cool story, and the main character is my favorite character, Chrissy.
The girl with the baseball cap.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She's like a tomboy, basically. And I really enjoyed the story. It's by Gail Galligan, based on the novel by Anna M. Martin. So, yeah.
So there you go. That's what we've been reading. My friend Rod the Rican, just a Rican in his comics. I linked his channel below, but he sent us a little care package. Some for the girls. It looks like a handful of comics in here. And then this huge hardcover for me, which we had talked about. So I think I kind of know what that is, but I haven't fully unwrapped
I
everything.
want to read
Sorry.
Charlie wants to read the note. Okay. Oh,
Good tape.
yeah, blue painter's tape. Can't go wrong.
You know, Dad, if you ever get like an AOK and it's like all with like blue tape, but you can't get the blue tape off, you should blame yourself because you're going to tell people to do that.
I didn't teach anybody. But you want to read it?
Kate and Charlie. Enjoy the books, and then he drew a happy face. Sorry, no post-its.
LOL.
LOL. RC.
Rod the Rican. Little note from Rod.
Thank you, Rod.
Thank you, Rod. Oh, TJ's up this morning. Good morning, TJ. I collect a lot. Also jumped in. And I'm sorry I didn't say hello to Joe7771.
Look.
Oh, our comic head. Good morning. Comic head's in here. Oh, he's at work. Already working hard.
Look what this says. And he punched a hole.
No, it's just what was already in there. Okay. So I'm going to peel this off.
I can't look. Is it over?
Hopefully it's not too loud. I know that some people really don't like the sounds of tape tearing.
Can I mute it?
We are almost done, friends.
Okay. So there's 3 here. So everybody can flip over one. Does that sound good? Who wants to go first? That's me.
That's cute.
I'll flip this one. Ready?
Yeah.
Whoop, it's upside down. Batgirl, Birds of Prey. Full Circle, issue 22. Look at all the Batgirl characters in there. Is that the Huntress?
Black Canary.
Black Canary. That's a great picture of Black Canary. That is cool. Is this Dodson? That's Terry Dodson. Gosh, Terry Dodson's so talented.
Thank you, Rod.
Unbelievable artist. Terry Dodson. You want to see that one?
Terry Dodson.
Who's going to do the next one? Charlie? Kate, going to pick one? Dun, 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 dun. Oh, sorry. I've got them all upside down.
Escape from the Mines. Ooh.
Don't open it just yet. We have one more to open, Charlie. Escape from
Number
the Mind's
23.
Eye. Oh, yeah, that's Batgirl's face there. The black in the background is her as well. That's cool. All right, Charlie, you're going to hold this one up. Are you ready?
Yes, we
You got to
have
hold it up this way.
breakfast.
Ready? Whoop. I got it upside down. Look at that. Wonder Woman. Holy cow. That's Art Germ for sure. Look at that. Look at her zipping through the air.
Ooh,
I'm reading it.
Thanks, Rod. They're going to start reading now. Oh, I'm gonna open mine.
Can I read the note? I'm the note reader. John, to a great brother, father, I hope you enjoy this amazing book.
This is Spanish. Can you read it?
Tu hermana,
Tu hermano.
Your brother,
Arstidi.
Oh, and Kate's translating. Tu hermano means
your brother.
your brother. Oh, this is it, dude. So I told him I'm one of the few people that still likes Dark Knight Strikes Again. Most everybody loves Dark Knight. The Dark Knight Returns, the original Frank Miller, Batman as an old man storyline. And I think it's great. I still like Dark Knight Strikes Again, which people felt like, it's not really a Batman story. It's more of a Justice League story. Still loved it, but I never got around to reading Master Race, the Batman Dark Knight Master Race, which, you know, it's supposed to be a little bit of a fascist Batman character storyline. That's hence the title. It's supposed to be a very dark, offbeat kind of storyline, and I've never read it. So I'm very excited. But obviously, like, Frank Miller was working with a lot of other people. Brian Azzarello, who I love. Klaus Janson, who's awesome. Alex Sinclair. Andy Kubert. So I'm very pumped to read this. I know that it was not a popular one, but popularity is not what makes me want to read something. And people didn't like Strikes Again, and I still really enjoy it. Let's see who we got here. These are reader copies now, says Joe. They are. Everything that comes into my house is, for the most part, a reader copy. Gotta know it. I've seen you in a grease monkey mode lately. Oh, yeah, Caleb, I hope the car is running well, or that you're at least working on the car. It's getting there. Bear Island is in here. Hello. Good to see you. What? This is the wedding invitation for Bruce's wedding. Remember, they were going to get married, so this issue takes place before the wedding debacle. Yeah, that was the day the issue came out. No, yeah. The issue came out on just last summer. Oh. It's been raining. I got the Jeep on the road. Okay, good. He's working on it. Not quite legal, but I live on an island. Okay. Who's gonna know, right? Who's gonna know? So, Rod, thank you so much for these. Right?
Thank you.
Are you awake? Nope, she's reading Wonder Woman.
Thank you for this amazing Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman, yeah.
Charlie's favorite cover artist, Art Germ. I hope everybody's having a nice weekend. I'm going to be spending some time with my family, enjoying barbecue and pools. I know that Alec was supposed to do an auction today, so I'm just going to let you know that auction has been put on hold temporarily. Some scheduling issues came up, and so hopefully it'll happen in the next week or so. But I know Alec is also in the midst of moving across the country, or down the country, south, from north to south. So I know that can throw some monkey wrenches into the problem here. So for those that were hoping to see that auction tonight, I'm sorry to disappoint, but I do know that Thoro Kuboro and Big Lion Cat, I believe, are doing an auction tonight as well. So you still can enjoy all of that without having to feel like you missed out. And not to worry, because Alec will make good on that auction with Tank Collects at some point.
Comic Head.
Comic Head is in the chat. Yeah, he said hello. Oh, Big Will just said my name, John. Yes? Yes?
Did you get today's mail, John?
Did somebody say that? Uh-oh. It's only 8:30 here, so our mailman usually hasn't come yet. Mario is his name. Charlie left him a little thank you note for being our mailman recently.
And now he's been giving me books.
And he's been dropping library books into the old library books that he doesn't need anymore. His kids used to like. He's been dropping them into the mailbox for the girls.
Yep. She's so nice.
John, what does it say? Hold on. John, is my package still lost in the black void of the United States postal system? I haven't gotten one. Uh-oh.
The black void.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, I have one.
What?
I have a joke.
Oh, we have a joke?
What?
Kate's got a joke before we sign off.
What starts with a P and ends with an E and has a million letters in it?
Oh, there it is. So this one is a good one. What starts with the letter P, ends with the letter E, and has a million letters in it? It's a riddle more than a joke. I suppose. I know that you know. Discovery Bay hasn't told me what to watch yet. Yeah, Discovery Bay is going to come on a little later and give us a little breakdown for the day. And then JP Budget Collecting will drop his video here in a little bit. And I want to say there's even a 9 a.m. or an auction going on in a half an hour. Somebody's doing an auction this morning. Lady Fantastic, thank you for coming by.
Nope, it's not Lady Fantastic.
That is Lady Fantastic.
No, it's not the word.
Oh, So what is the answer to Kate's riddle? The
Can I
greatest
see the
villain.
answer?
Oh, I think Backseat Driver knows it. The greatest villain in comics history. Go ahead, give the answer, Charlie.
No,
Post
I
Oh,
want
Kate,
this.
Kate, go ahead. Sorry.
Post office. Yes, Kachung.
Kachung got it.
Right
Nice.
next-
Starts
I
with
have
P,
one.
ends with E,
I
and
have
has
a
a
riddle.
million letters in
I
it.
have a riddle that no one has
Okay.
ever gotten. So the person who made it didn't need it. The person who bought it never used it. And the person who used it never saw it. What is it?
I know, I'm quiet.
This is a really see. That was a funny one, perfectly connected to what we're talking about. This is a really depressing one. John, when's your next auction? I've never run an auction. I've joined Alec on auctions. I've never run my own, but I am in the midst of talking to a couple of friends that want to have an auction spot. I don't have a lot of subscribers. I mean, I'm 670 something. You usually want a channel with a lot of subscribers. It just makes it easier to have people show up. But I'd be happy to
Tacoma.
run one at some point.
Tacoma and Hydra.
They already got it.
It's a coffin. Because the person who made it, who made the coffin, didn't need it. The person who bought it never used it because they weren't dead. And the person who used it, who is dead, can't see it because they're dead.
So super depressing.
It's depressing but fun.
Okay,
So
wait.
I'm in the midst of working with some people on doing the legend thing. Are you going to have legend on? The great legend is trying to get out of the auction scene, which is why some of us are trying to kind of take over a little bit and help out where people need auctions. I know that Big Lion Cat has been doing a wonderful job at that, and Alec has done a whole bunch, and Bake the Snake did one recently.
Wait. Stop. What's black and white and red all over?
Oh my goodness!
A sunburned
I don't know
penguin?
a lot of things.
Oh,
are
wait,
black and
wait.
white
I
and
know,
red
I
all
know,
over.
I know.
That's
Wait,
the
wait,
joke. Oh
wait,
my
wait.
goodness!
It's a newspaper.
A newspaper is the original answer to that riddle. Yeah.
Right, 90?
I'm just trying to chat here, but so yeah, at some point I'll probably run an auction on my channel. I just have never done it before. It's never been anything. I always left that to kind of Alec and Legend and those guys. Nope. So Caleb wants in. So at some point I'd like to run one. I maybe this summer because I'll have more time. And I definitely have some books I'd be willing to put up. But more than that, I just want to host a fun auction and have a good time because I think. As a viewer, I always love watching auctions, even when I'm not bidding. I think they're a whole lot of fun. Big Will did one on his. Yeah, he did. I forgot you did one on yours. And Tacoma's got one next Sunday, with Bear Island and Poor Man's Comics. Nice. Thank you all for coming. I didn't mean to turn into auction chat. And Big Will, I will keep an eye out. If you want to hit me up on Instagram, I'll keep an eye out for any packages today and let you know. Yeah. I hope everybody has a nice weekend. Newspapers aren't read all over anymore. Wah, wah.
It's sad, seriously.
And my dad reads his on his iPad, and he can take that anywhere.
That's true.
So in that way, I guess you could say all over the internet.
You used to read it and give me the comics of Sunday.
Patrick Kelly's asking a school question. Usually a summertime teacher. We don't want to talk about that. When do you go back? My school is still on the older, I guess you'd say, agrarian calendar, where we end at the end of June and we start up at the beginning of September. But I'm working a little bit of summer camp. So I teach the next 2 weeks, and then I'm off until September, the beginning of September.
Big Will, that's scary.
A panda that's been shot. Oh, geez. You guys have too many of these answers. You guys have a great weekend. Have some tacos if you can.
I know. What's silver, red, and blue, and has something yellow?
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman, yeah.
There you go. So everybody have a nice weekend, and we hope to see you all in chats and things.
Bye.